Just as Matsushita said, we easily got permission in the time for our training camp was here. Oh yeah, at the shrine. That's where the training camp is gonna happen. Shofuku Temple. Kazu and I both arrived at the Matsushita's temple carrying our heavy luggage. We would be staying here for a while, but we hadn't decided how long yet. I plan to have us stay here until we can perform to everyone's satisfaction. That's why we had a lot of luggage and why I was raring to go. Cool. We'll be in your care!
よろしくお願いします。
そうかしこまるなよ。入ってくつろいでくれ。
Thanks. Why was Ibuka the one greeting us? My spirit sank. Well, I mean, he said it very nicely, though. Why are you coming out?
ここは俺の家みたいなもんだからな。
本当に馴染んでるね。
I couldn't tell but how easily Ibuka blended in with the temple? Just how often has this guy hung out here?
ああ、来てたのか。
Then Matsushita showed up. Finally, the real owner of this place. Hey Matsushita, you should keep an eye on this guy. If you keep letting this guy do as he pleases, he's liable to sell out one of your statues one day.
んなことするか。この寺にそんな金になるようなもんがあるわけないからな。
Ah, but you are open to the idea of stealing something. Morty?
あったらするのかな。
時と場合による。
See, that's the kind of guy he is. You should reconsider who you will hang out with.
考えておこう。え？今のは冗談だぞ。
Now it's finally time. Our training camp is finally about to begin. We'll launch our counterattack from this temple. We were led through the main hall. This was our second time coming here, and the room had a classical appearance just like one would expect from a temple. I could smell the sense of old wood, incense and dust. It didn't appear to have any connection with rock. I felt out of place here with my guitar on my shoulder.
合宿中は皆ここで寝泊まりしてもらうことになる。
Apparently we're going to lay our futons out and sleep in this very spacious room. I had no complaints about that, but there was a huge Buddha statue just over there. Is he sure it's alright for us to sleep here?
母屋の客間が空いてるんじゃないのか？あっちはダメなのか？
Ibuka said something impudent about something or other he knew about.
本当ならそうしようと思っていたのだが、もう一組客が来ることになってしまってな。客間はそっちの客に使ってもらうことになったのだ。また他の合宿かなんかか？去年もどっかの空手部が来てたよな。
へえ、結構合宿の人たちが来るんだね。やっぱ合宿といえばお寺ってイメージあるからかな。
まあ頼まれればできる限りは協力するようにしているからな。
Thanks to that, we can have our training camp here too. But it's a bit of a problem if they have too much business too. Well, we're not in a position to see anything, but they won't be interfering with us, will they? To be honest, I couldn't be too happy about the temple having more guests. The more people there are, the more problems there are too. If we can't focus on practicing, there's no point in having our training camp here. If some karate club is here, we might end up in a fight.
大丈夫だ。
Me and you
邪魔には
probably.
ならないと思うぞ。
Oh, alright then. Still, this temple is pretty eccentric if it welcomes that many guests at one time. Speaking of which, Shibuka used to bring a pack of girls to this temple with them. This is a pretty open-minded temple if he didn't complain about that. Oh yeah, you did ask him to not bring those pose, and he was plain accepting and being narcissistic about himself being fine with himself.
お前たちは客というわけじゃないからこちらも気は使わないつもりだがそれで構わないか
Yeah, of course. Rigorous and strict is just fine.
そのぐらいの方が合宿っぽいもんね。
Oh, serious look. I see Kazuki came here prepared. He was a little tense, but he nodded as well.
なかなかいい心がけだな。じゃ、ビシビシやらせてもらおうか。
Quit acting self-important. Now, our training camp was finally going to begin. It was safe to say that this training camp would determine our future. But at the end of this training camp, we had to seize whatever it is we're lacking. And first, I'd like to lay down a rule for us during this training camp. Oh, here goes Hada. Coming up with his own shit again. I stayed up several days thinking get this over. I had decided we needed to do this in order to overcome some of the things we lacked. Of course, one of our goals in this training camp is to improve our techniques. But now our goal is also to solidify the bond between our new band, Super Rock and Rollers.
バンドの名前が違えば、もっと結束も固まるのかもしれないけどね。
Coming from an artist, that's pretty too. I did come up with the name on its own. Don't complain. Our band name is already decided.
しれっとこういうこと言うやつだからな。いつ決まったんだって話だ。
ごめんね。そうちゃん、一度言い出すと聞かないから。
Clearly. Looks like they still have complaints about their band name. They're as persistent as snakes. I decided to ignore your complaints and continue. Yeah, they already figured. Or should I say actually it's Kazu. The other two are still complaining. In other words, one of the things we lack is strong unity. Since one aim of this training camp is to develop that, I have a suggestion to help us open up to each other more quickly.
なんだ
The idea is... Yeah, let's see how stupid it is. Bleeding? I heard such refined sounds coming from all around me. Right now we were cleaning the grounds. So what I heard was the sound of bamboo brooms sweeping the ground clean. I'm surprised that you suggested to do this. I've used a normal broom to clean our classroom before, but never a bamboo broom. I wasn't used to it, but it made a pretty nice sound.
なあ、そうちゃん。なんでバンドの合宿でいきなりするのが掃除なんだよ。
Don't complain, Nagi. We'll be in their care from now on. So it's only natural to thank them by cleaning. Besides, when we're backstage at the Limehouse, we should leave it looking better than we found it.
そうそう。これも練習だし、精神収容のうちだよ。ね、ショー。
It's already Zen. Cool. Sho didn't respond when he was called. He just continued to sweep in silence. Hey, Sho, are you listening? Sho? After he called him several times, Sho finally faced us.
ああ、そうか。ショーというのは俺のことだったか。
I guess he didn't think he was being called. I can understand that. I'm still getting the goosebumps from calling Aki.
そうちゃん。やっぱりこれ違和感ありまくりなんだが。
Deal with it. It sounds like I want to call you Aki either.
俺だって呼ばれたくないぞ。俺をアッキーと呼んでいいのはファンの女の子たちだけだったのに。
Aki was upset, but that didn't matter. This was for our band. For us to open up to each other quickly and strengthen our bonds, changing the way we call each other was important. Almost all friends have unique nicknames to use for each other. Normally, a rule like that is something that's born naturally after they spend time getting to know each other. So my bright idea was that if we start by forcing such a local rule on ourselves, we might be able to close the distance between each other.
まあ考え方は間違ってないのではないかな。合宿という非日常空間に入るのを機に無理やり導入することで効果が上がるのではないかと思うぞ。
僕もショーの意見に賛成だな。きっとすぐ慣れると思うよ。
そうか、俺はちっとも慣れる気がしないけどな。ショーも数も単純でいいよな。
Aki was complaining a lot, but he at least followed the rule. I didn't know he could be dutiful. Well, I mean, he gave up girls, but again, in a narcissistic way, just so he could get through the training camp. Maybe that just shows how much he feels he's riding on this training camp.
まあそれはいいとして、せっかくの合宿だってのにそんなアホなことしか考えてないわけじゃないだろうな。掃除なんかしてないでさっさと練習しないか。
掃除は大事だぞ、アッキー。自分の周囲をきれいにするということは自分の心を清めるということと同じなのだ。
それバンドと関係ないじゃん。
Of course, we won't just be cleaning. The first thing we need to do is decide what songs to play for the contest, right? The contest, yeah. Challenge. Until we decide what songs to play, practicing isn't worth shit. We have to start by deciding what to practice.
コンテストで演奏するのは2曲だったな。
Each band in the contest is only allowed to play 2 songs? How do we pick which 2 songs?
2曲ともコピーにするの？
I would like to avoid that as much as possible. Should we take the easy route and play a cover song? Or should we perform our own original songs? If we make both songs covers, then it's true that we're less likely to make any big mistakes. Well, I mean, if you guys manage to come up with a song that's average and also not bad in a very short time, then maybe go for an original song. If we take a properly composed song and play a cover of it, then so long as we take the time to practice, we'll be able to perform decently. However, well, that's the easy way. It's also the least interesting way. Yeah, I figured. On the other hand, there are a lot of hurdles to composing an original song. Yeah. For one thing, in order to make an original song, we'll have to start from scratch. Fortunately, we have one song in our repertoire. There wasn't a single guest to enjoy the song, but I still hated to abandon it. Then maybe you can rework it. After all, it was the first song we made together. They see nothing as charming as a stupid child, but I also had an idea. It might take us some effort, but if we brush it up and truly complete it, I'm sure it will become a great weapon in our arsenal. It might be difficult, but personally, I want us to try playing an original song again.
でも大変だよ。
It was hard to say we had enough time between now and the contest. If we really want to win, it might be more realistic to prepare 2 covers. There won't be as many difficulties that way either. If you scrambled out something for the live house somehow, that was again average and not bad. In this case, you have much more time. So I couldn't accept that. What is it better if you can cover someone else's song and play it well? True, it will be hard. If we wanted to play it safe, covering 2 songs would be fine for our performance. But this contest is a match. I don't want to be a sumo wrestler who goes out winning someone else's Pochui. Yeah, that would be a little bit gross. This was a trial we had to overcome in order to take down the Second Resolution Club and win our ticket to challenge Murakami-san. That's why I wanted to feast them with our own power. I want to feast them with their own song. Well, what about you guys? I bet everyone else feels the same. However, they didn't agree immediately. In fact, I could feel their reluctance keenly in the air.
でもこの前は大失敗したからな。
Aki spoke up with a sour taste in his mouth. Everyone is still thinking about their last performance. I hadn't forgotten about it either.
俺はもうあんな惨めなステージはごめんだぞ。
I could sense a keen emotion behind those words. Kaz and Sho probably felt the same. I didn't ever want to repeat that either.
僕たちが未熟だったのもそうだけど、あの曲自体あんまり受けてない感じじゃなかった？もしもう一度やるなら相当練り直さないと。
確かにあの曲を作った時には少し安易に考えすぎていたかもしれないな。次のコンテストはもっとずっとレベルが高いのだろう。今のままでは全く勝負にならないのではないか。
I had that same feeling. I think we had been too naive. I'll admit we were. However, of course I'm not satisfied with it as it was either. Oh, by the way, yoink. That's why I wanted us to work our original song once more during this training camp. If we do that, I'm sure we can create a great song. I have faith in us. Everyone is still hesitant to agree with me.
でも時間がないからね。
優勝にこだわるのならコピー曲を確実に仕上げた方が完成度は高くなるだろう。勝ちにこだわった方がいいのではないか。
俺もオリジナルは今回は封印した方がいいと思う。とにかく俺は前回の汚名を注ぎたいんだ。コピーでもいいからかっこよくビシッと決めようぜ。
Yes, but...
おい、掃除は終わったのか？
Just as I was trying to get the words out of my mouth, we heard the head priest calling from the main hall. He was Sho's father, and while he looked gentle, he was rather strict.
まあオリジナルをやるかどうかは夜にでもまた話し合おうよ。
そうだな。次は本堂の掃除が待ってるぞ。
俺たち掃除をしに来たわけじゃないよな。
文句を言うな。初日に自分たちの泊まる場所だけは自分たちできれいにするというのがうちの決まりだ。
They all dragged ourselves to the main hall with our brooms trailing behind us. However, I didn't move. As I watched them walk away, their backs felt far away from me. Is it really alright for us to play it safe like that? I know I can't accept it. Yeah, that's no news for all of us. Thanks for the meal. Once I saw our food, I was happy. Since this is a temple, I totally thought we would get tasteless vegetarian food. But there was actually meat and fish. Wow, it's great. Sho, I'm glad your family doesn't keep their vows.
生臭か？
そうちゃん、失礼だよ。
まあいいじゃないか。そのおかげでこうしてうまいものが食えるんだから。
別に殺生しているというわけじゃないが、うちは葬式中心だし、そこまでこだわるような時代でもないしな。それに、ロックンローラーは肉を食わねばならんのだろう。
Yeah, sure. Oh, you got it. Regulars need meat. This scam knowledge in the modern rock scene.
そんなシーンがあるんだ。
肉が食えれば何でもいいって。女の子まで立ってるってのに肉も食えないんじゃ発狂してしまうからな。
You sex maniac. Fucking seconds. I got for seconds, but it wasn't like there was a waiting or a maid there to serve it. I stood up and helped myself to some white rice from the old wooden pot.
そうちゃん、ちょっと早すぎるよ。少しは遠慮とかすればいいのに。
How will I fill my stomach if I hold back? We worked our asses off today. By the end of the day, all we have done was clean many different places. I guess I can't complain though, since they're letting us stay here. I need to store up my energy so I can practice nice and hard starting tomorrow. I also plan to practice some once we're finished eating.
数はそう気を使わんで構わぬ。我が家だと思ってくつろいでくれればよい。
そうだそうだ。そんなに気ばかり使っていると長生きできないぞ。
そうだね。みんなずぶとくて羨ましいよ。
Yoink. While I was already stuffing down my second bowl, Kazu had barely touched his. Kazu, you haven't eaten much yet. If you don't eat more, you won't have enough strength. We still have practice after this, you know?
いや、僕はもともと小食だから。それに、ちょっと夏バテ気味で。
それはいかんな。もしなんならもっと消化の良いものを用意させようか。おかゆぐらいならすぐできるが。
うん、そこまでしてもらわなくても大丈夫だから。
He shook both his hands and had in polite refusal. Still, even I was impressed with this temple service. I bet we could even get liquor if we just asked for it. Alright. Turds!
もう？
お前、さっきおかわりしたばっかじゃないか。底なしか？そうちゃんがそういうつもりなら、俺もおかわりだ。
You grab at me, Aki grabs himself an extra large helping. For someone so thin, you sure eat a lot, Aki.
痩せの大食いというやつだな。
Shit, I'm not going to lose! I gulped down the plate I just grabbed.
なんでも勝負しようとすんなよ。もっと優雅に食え。だからモテないんだよ、そうちゃんは。
Although I kept gulping down the food, I still remained calm. My mind was still occupied with what we talked about this afternoon. Everyone else but me thinks it's better to forget playing an original song. I was the only one against it, just like with everything. One of our goals for this training camp is to learn cooperation and teamwork. We were finally starting to move in the same direction together. Perhaps I should concede this time. Should I concede? Yeah, I finished. Okay, I won!
アホか。一人でやってろ。
アッキー、なんか頬がピクピクしてるよ。
平静を装っているが、相当悔しがってると見た。意外に負けず嫌いなのだ。
やっぱりそうちゃんとアッキーって似てるよね。
似てない。
What he said. We were in perfect harmony. I was so embarrassed I could kill Aki out of myself. Yoink. The fact that Aki was blushing only made it worse.
ほらね。
Shut up! Come on, stop dawdling and hurry up indeed. Once you're done, we're practicing. In the peaceful rooms of the main hall, noisy music filled the air. We kept the volume down since it was already night, but the sound was still grating. It didn't sound good at all. This just seems our last performance. Everyone's temple slowly grew up and became an ever greater detriment to our sound. Stop! Stop! I let stop completely. The only one who looked upset was Aki.
なんで止めるんだよ。気持ちよく弾いてたのに。
Aki, you don't have anything plugging your ears, do you? How can you consider that to be good?
アッキーは自分の音しか聞いてないからな。
Aki just refused to listen to the rest of us playing with him. Although it's his job to create a rhythm, he goes off into his own world and starts playing whatever rhythm he feels like. In contrast, our other rhythm maker, Cho, continues to beat his drums with perfect precision. One's rhythm is too perfect and the other is anything but. That's what Kazuo and I had to try and play with. As a result, the rhythm of our performance is a total mess. And every little slip causes a great disturbance to the listener. Okay, I'm begging you, quit playing however you feel like and actually play a rhythm line. Or are you telling me it's not that you won't, but that you can't? Do you have any sense of rhythm? I wasn't intending to provoke him, I was just complaining. However, the color drained from his face when I complained.
できないとは心外だな。リズムを取るなんてのはベースの基本の基本じゃないか。けど俺は時計じゃないんだぞ。俺はただ美しい旋律を奏でるのが好きなだけだ。単調なリズムを刻むのが退屈だから嫌いなだけで、リズム感だってやる気になれば完璧だ。
He was angry pouting like a child. Maybe this guy is more simple than I thought. What the hell are you playing the bass if you want to stand out so much? You should have picked the guitar. If he played the guitar, he would be fine. Of course, if I could play the guitar, I wouldn't have asked for him. Still, I think Aki's personality is definitely better suited for the guitar.
俺はな、ベースの低音を愛してるんだよ。ベースの低音ってなんかエロいだろ。
They do, yeah. I don't know why, but Aki decided to come out to us and we all drew back. Aki, I won't comment on your sexual preferences, but can you actually play a rhythm? If so, then try it. I won't believe it until you prove it. This time I was trying to provoke him. I caught him hook, line, and sinker.
ちょっとだけだぞ。
Thank you. Although he was reluctant, he accepted my challenge. Then we all started playing once again from the top. I immediately thought, huh? This time the performance felt completely different.
ねえ、そうちゃん。
Mm-hmm. Yeah? There are HTIM from the drums mixed. Well, to be fair, rhythm can be a bitch and a half to spell out. From the drums mixed with the rhythm of the bass and echoes strong in the core of our bodies. What is this? My body was aching to start moving on its own.
どうだ？やる気になりゃできるんだよ。これで文句ないだろ。
Hold it, don't stop, keep playing like that. I kept Taki from stopping and made him keep going. I glanced over at Kazu and he nodded with excitement. Kazu and I timed our entrances and started playing too. Suddenly the music washed over us like a flu. Our later melodies built a hold in all on reptiles and music. Wow! So Akihira was the only one that needed to change. I feel like we had jumped into a CM music. We can't play music. The nice vibrations of our notes clogged in my body. In response to this music, the fire in my heart lit up. Same. My body shook. Well, just from reading, of course. My vision was bright and everything looked like it glowed brighter than before. Yahoo! I couldn't help but shout. This is the greatest feeling ever.
そうちゃん、あんま騒いじゃダメだよ。夜遅いんだから。
He says with a smile. Kazu shot at me, but he was playing his guitar in high spirits too. For once, he was keeping up without any hang-ups. And melody flowed out naturally as it pulled along by Aki and shows rhythm. I wasn't thinking of doing anything special. The melody that was born in my heart just flowed naturally out of my fingers.
なんだなんだお前ら、急にはしゃぎ出しやがって。
Like you're not smiling like having fun either, Aki. This is the first time I've seen you play your bass with that luck. Sho was bewildered. He was probably very curious as to why the sound of his drum suddenly changed. Sho's precise, dreary, machine-like drumming now felt great. Sho, I think you might actually be a pretty warm-hearted person. I can tell by the sound of yours. It was a strange sensation. It felt like everything I hadn't understood before now made sense. What do you know? We work pretty well together. Yahoo! That felt great. I lay down on the tatami mat, covered in sweat. I didn't even remember when I started sweating. Sorry. I looked at the clock and realized we had practiced for over an hour. No wonder I was sweating and worn out.
まだ10分ぐらいのつもりだったかな。
Hey, nice. Sure was also sweaty. This was the first time I ever saw that cool face of his covered in sweat.
もうダメ。くたくた。
Casually on the floor like a person dying in the street. Luckily, he was still breathing. Kaz, you have no stamina. At this rate, you won't last during our performance. Starting tomorrow, we run.
え、バンドの練習なのに走り込みなんてするの？
Yeah, for physical reasons. Stamina is vital. Since you're so weak, we need you to build up your stamina and make you healthier, Kazu.
運動は
I mean, for
苦手なんだもん。
for health's sake, Kashiwara in her terrible condition actually kept that. But then again, when the performance, everything ended, the tour, unfortunately, she passed out and had to go to a hospital. Then do some zazen. You know, we are at the temple after all. Want we all do some zazen? I did want to try it at least once.
ならば明日は座禅を教えてやろう。精神修養も必要だぞ。
走り込みも座禅もバンドの合宿っぽくないね。
Kazu heaved a dejected sigh. Unfortunately, physicality and stamina is where needed when it comes to this. So, you're not gonna be avoiding this in any sort of way. Sorry, Kazu. Aki stood a short distance from where we were talking, just staring at the bass in his hands. What's wrong? Are you worn out?
Yeah.
Aki didn't see much. He was so different from usual, I didn't know how to respond.
イブカク。あ、アッキーはどうだった？今のセッション楽しくなかった？
Aki mumbled something and tenderly held his bass. Then he strummed out a nice strong chord.
実は俺はこういうのが好きなのかな。ずっと一人で弾いてたから、さっきみたいなのは初めてだ。
Not bad, right?
まあ、悪くはないかもな。
Nice.
どうせ今だけなんだしな。
The last part was probably because he didn't want to admit I was right. Even Aki totally had fun playing just now. A pleasant excitement was starting to grow. Now I finally felt like our training camp had truly begun. Even after we spread out our 4 futons, the main hall still felt empty. However, rather than spread them out separately, we naturally laid them out together in the center. Although everything was silent, I could tell that no one else was asleep yet. We were all still excited by our last session. I suddenly thought that if I was going to say it, it was now or never. About the songs we were playing at the contest. I started off like I was talking to myself. I didn't get any replies, but I could tell that all 3 of them were paying attention to me. During our session, I realized this. I really want us to participate with our own original song. My desire just wouldn't go away. I wanted to play an original song.
だが、勝ちたいのだろう。
Sho responded to me. I knew he was still awake.
オリジナルをやるだけなら誰も反対ってわけじゃない。だが今から優勝を狙えるぐらい曲の完成度を上げるつもりなら オリジナルはきついと言ってるんだ。
僕もそう思うよ。
Kazuki was awake too. Kazu was laying beside me and looking my way. Ah,
みんな勝つつもりだからこそ言ってるんだよ。
that may be true. Everyone is heading towards our goal of winning that contest together as a group. However, I don't like the path we're taking to get there right now. Hey guys, are you playing defense? Aren't we the challengers? There's nothing for us to defend. We don't have anything, well, there is pride. If we don't have anything, we're starting from zero, no? Maybe we're the negative? We have absolutely nothing to lose. Of course I want to win too. But if we just win, I won't feel right. Winning does not mean everything. I remembered it. I remembered our first live performance. After our last performance, I was frustrated. Not only did I fail, but I couldn't forgive myself for letting the guests become bored. It wasn't supposed to be that way. I didn't form this band to have performances like that. I could see it clearly. This isn't how we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be much more amazing than this. That's why I was frustrated. I refused to let us end that way. I didn't want us to end. I want to prove our real awesomeness to that yawning crowd. No, to the whole world. I want to prove that we are more amazing than that. As I went on, I could feel the fire burning in my heart. I know I didn't have any proof to back myself up, but I could see it clearly. I really can't wait to see and please remember what you became in the future. Honestly, as I played their drops. Which, speaking of, I should have mentioned at the beginning. I am not gonna start that any soon. Maybe in summer, perhaps, or maybe actually in March. Actually, I might not even finish this in March, given how I upload. Well, I don't know. I'll make a decision at some point by the end of the series, and when I'm gonna start that visual novel. I can hear their voices shouting with excitement. All because me, Kazu, Aki, and Cho were heading on stage. Our performance, our sound, our group was driving the crowd wild.
そっか。
I heard Kazu chuckling beside me. As I came back from my thoughts and looked at him, I saw a big smile on his face. I glared back at him because I was being serious. What's so funny? I'm serious here.
そうじゃなくて。そうちゃん、さっきからずっと俺たちって言ってるよね。
Kazu was saying something crazy? I didn't understand him. What about it?
だって俺がすごいじゃなくて俺たちがすごいところを見せつけてやりたいって言ってるんだよ。そうちゃん、気づいてないの？
I guess he's proving a little bit as well. Kazu was grinning, but I still didn't understand what he was getting at. There are four of us in this band, so we is right, isn't it? For some reason, Aki and Sho both seem to understand and join Kazu in grinding at me. What's with you guys? This is creepy. What's so funny?
つまりそうちゃんが俺たちを含めたこのバンドのことが気に入っているってことが分かってしまったんだ。
Huh?
だがそれが世間に認められないことが許せないとそう言ってるんだ。
お前みたいな自己中なやつがさ、それが意外だったんだよ。
Well, three of them speaking together, I finally understood. They think it's unusual for me to be angry on behalf of the band I like. They even thought I was doing so without realizing it and tried to make fun of me. You're just now realizing that? Of course I like this band. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't be trying to win with you guys. I knew that much from the beginning. It's so natural that I would. So I'm surprised that you look so triumphant. Still, after I gave them my reply, they were all dumbstruck.
だってさ、お前俺のことが気に入らないんじゃなかったのかよ。
コンテストに出るために仕方なくバンドを組んだのだと思っていたが。
Yeah, right. You guys are the people I chose and invited into this band. I thought that you guys were the early ones, and that's why I invited you, not anyone else. What? You didn't realize that?
そうなのか。
Well, sure, there were plenty of things I didn't like, but this band, with me, Kazu, Aki, and Sho, is the best band. So, I was embarrassed to see that. What am I letting slip out of my mouth? You guys need to realize that without me saying so. Maybe it was because I was still excited from our fun session, or maybe it was because I couldn't see them well in the dark. Anyway, I let my thoughts slip out, even though it was embarrassing. Yoink. Aki and Sho both fell into a troubled silence. I guess they were both feeling bashful for once. Only thick-headed Kazu was still grinding about all these. Kazu certainly has been in a good mood today. Damn it, it's irritating. I'll tease him later. Anyways, we're the best. But despite that, we haven't been able to put out our true strength. That's why I'm so frustrated. The silence only made things more embarrassing, so I spoke up again. I want to show everyone in the world that we can do more, that we're amazing. I want to make the people who look down on us and the people who turned their backs on us at the last performance say uncle. Of course, our goal is to beat Yui's band and win the contest, but I don't want that to be the end for us. That's why I face a contest with songs of our own, not songs we borrowed from someone else. I think that style suits us better. No matter how good a song it is, if we play someone else's song, we won't be able to express our own style. I want to face this contest with an original song. No matter what, I want us to give our best that day. I glanced around at each one of them as they stayed silent and listened. No one acted shy, made fun of me, or laughed. Let's do an original song. A song that's all ours. I said it once again. All three silently nodded with no objections.
そこまで言われちゃしょうがないな。もう一曲はオリジナルにするか。やられっぱなしってのは俺も性に合わないしな。
うん、そうだね。絶対いい曲にしてお客さんたちをあっと言わせなくっちゃね。
面白そうだ。
Everyone's eyes glowed in the darkness. Finally, the future I saw was reflecting in their eyes. Now things are getting exciting. Damn it, we're supposed to be going to sleep, but now my body is aching for action. Alright, we're going to be busy from tomorrow on. We're going to practice until we drop. At any rate, we don't have much time to rework our original song. We don't have a single second to spare. Still, I'm sure we can pull it off. We can do it. So guys, make sure you stick behind me. Believe in me. We're going to become legends. I didn't want to think about this night anymore. Even I thought I got a little too passionate. Yet I'm sure that I will never forget this night. Because this was the night we finally started running towards our future, hand in hand. Kira Kira Curtain Call. Alright, we're gonna get into the day 2 of the training camp and another episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another episode real soon.